Welcome to the second OT CyberBytes podcast with Oleg, co-founder and CTO at Salvador Technologies. How have you been, Oleg?
I'm good. How are you, Ben?
Yeah, no, very well. What have you been up to recently?
It was good. Some summer vacation, and also a lot of European Championship games.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed for England and for you, Ben, but
Yeah.
hope you will overcome it until the next championship.
Yeah, funnily enough, 10 minutes before we actually started recording on this, Gareth Southgate has actually left as England manager. So I joined this as a happy individual.
I don't know if you are sad or happy.
Yeah, no, I'll be okay. Perfect. Well, look, Oleg, we always take it back with every individual that we do. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, as an individual, kind of how you got to where you are today, and the Salvador kind of idea.
Okay, so I will talk regarding the Salvador founders team. It's me and Alex Yevtushenko. He is the CEO. I'm the
Hmm.
CTO.
Hmm.
So Alex, the CEO, and I have been childhood friends growing up in the same city in the south of Israel. We are both electrical engineers, which gives us a lot of in common. During high school, we participated in robotics competitions together in US and Japan. We learned to collaborate effectively from an early age. I served in an elite cybersecurity unit in the IDF for over 10 years, where I gained extensive experience. Alex and I co-founded the company, and we did it because I remember that we always worked well together.
Perfect. Cool. And tell me a little bit about Salvador. Like what sort of product is it? What IDs do you guys have?
So Salvador provides industrial organizations with instant recovery capabilities. They have a patented technologies based on an air-gapped storage. Basically, with one press of a button and 30 seconds later, anyone can recover his OT machine and get it back to work.
Brilliant. And like you say, OT security, how big is that for you at the moment?
So it's a growing market. Just recently, it was been published that the OT cybersecurity market is expected to grow to 44 billions of dollars by 29. So we are in a growing market, which continuously evolving. Unlike in the IT market, in the OT, the systems are much more traditional. You don't have a lot of virtualization. You have many legacy systems. So there is a lot of room for innovation.
Great. And the day-to-day problem that you see and are addressing, how would you sum that up?
And the main program is the downtime. Today, it takes more than 20 days, according to statistics, to recover from a ransomware attacks. And what we are trying to do is to reduce this time dramatically. We are reducing it from 20 days for a matter of hours. We are achieving it by using air-gapped storage. And when you're using air-gapped storage, you can guarantee that the backups will not be affected during the attack, and if the backups are not infected, you can simply recover from it.
Hmm. Perfect. And like you say, your sort of customers and areas of expertise, like what kind of areas do you guys go into?
So the main areas we are focusing is critical infrastructure and manufacturing. We also have some customers in building management automation. We do have customers in healthcare, but the main target market, as I mentioned, is critical infrastructure and manufacturing.
Brilliant. And look, I think obviously we've spoke a few times previously. You're a seed stage vendor, still very early days for the business. What sort of challenges are you currently facing as a business?
Yeah. So during the seed stage, the main challenge are market validation and proving that your product will be successful. VC investors expect some initial traction and proof of concept, which is particularly difficult to achieve in market like OT and ICS. Together with Alex, we worked hard to overcome these challenges. Today, raising funds with just a pitch deck is very hard, especially for first-time founders. And we did a lot of work together. We built a POC before the seed round, before the Series A. We had some customers before that. And another factor that can be helpful specifically in Israel is the fact that I'm a veteran of an IDF elite cybersecurity unit, which is highly prestigious and respected by many VCs in Israel. Many major companies in Israel were founded by veterans of those units.
Brilliant. And to kind of flip that question on its head, what benefits have you found from being an early stage vendor and trying to make your way in the market?
So one of the major benefits that we have is that other companies opens the doors for startups companies. They want to see some innovations. What we expect that in Series A, it will be much more challenging. You usually look to raise more than 10 millions, often with high valuations, and we will need traction from significant customers. For example, it's kind of easy to get a POC or install your device or product in one industrial site, but to achieve a multi-industrial site installations, and this is what you need in order to get a Series A, it's much harder. You need to build a trust with the vendor and with the industrial facility. Regarding the trust with the vendor, it's the trust with Siemens, Rockwell, and all the others in the market. If you are building the trust with them, it's much more easier for you to penetrate this market.
Brilliant. And as a business and growth of the business, where do you see that over the next few years? Obviously, I know you guys have a footprint over in the US, which of course is a target area for many businesses growing out of Israel. So for yourself over the next few years, where do you see Salvador?
Yeah, so these days we are working on a broader vision. The broader vision, it means that we will have another product in the market which will be centralized. It will be more network based, and we are expecting exponential growth. As today in the OT ICS cybersecurity space, there are not a lot of vendors which are deploying any kind of cyber recovery solutions. Our goal is to be the category leader in the cybersecurity, in the cyber recovery space in OT ICS. And our goal is to reach this in a few years. Hopefully, we will be in Gartner soon.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's a big target for the business, right? So hopefully that can all go forward. In terms of the OT market on a whole, where do you see that developing to the next few years? I know you gave me a stat earlier on there where it's no doubt going to grow. Where do you see it going to, and what problem do you feel like we currently have?
So what we are seeing today is a virtualization of OT environment, OT stations, is a growing trend that offers several advantages. On one hand, it makes OT ICS environment much more efficient by reducing the number of physical servers and legacy machines that required. But on the other hand, the virtualizations also introduce significant challenges. One of the primary concerns is that virtualized OT servers become a single point of failure, unlike a distributed endpoints approach where each device separate and individual. A virtual server hosts multiple critical functions. So if it will fail, your entire OT infrastructure will fail. And in this stage, the OT cyber recovery capability is becoming much more important to bring these virtual servers back. And again, the risk is much higher because all you need to do is to hack the hypervisor. The hypervisor can be Hyper-V or it can be VMware ESXi. But if you are able to hack the hypervisor, you are probably will be able to hack any other virtual machine in your environment. So it makes the life much more difficult from the security perspective and much more efficient for the operations.
Brilliant. Great. And in terms of, I suppose, what is not next, but over to sort of try and stay ahead of the curve for Salvador, you mentioned that you want to be the Gartner leader for this specific area. Um, Being that vendor would obviously take a lot of time and being able to completely kind of, I suppose, develop the product more and more. Like what are you going to do of a business at Salvador to actually stay ahead of the curve over the next few years?
Yeah, so today we are introducing a hardware unit known as the CRU, Cyber Recovery Unit, which must be connected to each critical device.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned, we are expanding our platform beyond this physical device to establish ourselves as a vendor that offering a comprehensive solution to the cyber recovery challenge. It means that we are not only protect some edge devices like HMIs, DCS, but we will provide a more holistic approach that the entire systems in the organizations are protected by us. I mean, the entire backups in the organizations will be protected by us. Not We are not focusing on protection of the devices themselves, but the protection of the backups. While in the IT space, there are many well-known vendors such as Rubrik, Veeam, Commvault. All of them are focused on IT, not on OT, while our goal is to tailor our solution for their OT needs. And this is what we will create with the centralized cyber resilience solution.
Brilliant. And like you say, you mentioned in there quite an interesting point actually. Like we as people need to make sure we do things. What do you see as the main problem? Is it the individuals? Is it the people dealing with this day to day? Is it the hackers, the crime? What's the biggest issue? Would you say?
So one of the biggest issue and the biggest challenge, as you all know, is the lack of people in the security space. Um, so
Hmm.
this is one
Yeah.
of the main challenges that we have today. And for example, in the backup space, today most of the OT organizations, they're just doing a manual backup and manual restoration. And to do manual backups, as often you need work power and a lot of people. So what we provide is also automation of the backups. So you need much less people in order to back up your OT environment. Another thing that we do regarding automation is automated restoration tests, which are highly important according to many regulations, such as NIST or IEC 62443. Because we are doing automatic restoration task, you can be ensured that on the D-Day, you will be able to restore from your backup, unlike many other vendors and solutions that you're just relying and hope that the backup will work, but you don't have a good way to test it.
Brilliant. Look, you obviously have built this product. You've got something out there. You've obviously got some funding. Imminently, what is sort of next for Salvador? How are you kind of making sure that you're still there and still in people's earmark? Do you attend events? Do you, like you say, purely work on the product, that type of thing?
Yeah, so we are attending many events. You can meet us in every significant OT event in the world, it including S4, RSA, the London cybersecurity of information events.
Hmm.
Um, so we're definitely moving forward. Our goal is to be the category leader, as I mentioned. We are putting a lot of resources to make the product as simple as possible for the OT people. So from the first moment, our goal is that the OT operators going to love the product because it's so simple. You all need to do in order to recover is just to press one button.
Hmm.
So we are trying to make this experience even better.
Brilliant. Will you be heading to Black Hat in August?
So yeah, we will be also there.
Brilliant. Cool. Maybe we should meet up there. Excellent. Well, look, to wrap things up, Oleg, what sort of one piece or one key kind of takeaway would you give me as an individual or to the OT audience listening and watching us? Like, what is the biggest kind of piece of advice moving forward that we need to do to make sure that we don't sort of fail moving forward in the OT space?
So my only advice is not to only focus on detection and prevention, which are not always possible. You also need to make sure that you have the proper recovery tools and the proper backup tools. Another important aspect is to have business continuity plan. And because it's so important, it's also part of the NIS2 regulations.
Brilliant. Cool. Well, look, thank you very much, Oleg, for joining. Look, hopefully we can meet up in Vegas in a few weeks' time and discuss this further and really enjoy your time and look forward to seeing where Salvador go in the future.
Thank you very much, Ben. It was a pleasure for me to be here.
Perfect. Thank you.